Story 1. If the past is included, the plunge for distance deserves a shot at the title. Story 2. I'm gonna go in the opposite direction. I think it's an absolute travesty that weightlifting is being removed. I've always thought the Olympics was about trying to push the limits of human abilities. Heavy lifting is one of the only sports where you can tangibly and precisely demonstrate this. But yeah, let's watch breakdancing laugh out loud. Also, I'm not sure why sailing is in there either. Story 3. Dressage. Fancy horse dancing because wealthy individuals desire an Olympic medal. It is hilarious seeing what dressage enthusiasts attempt to say. I had one compare them to ancient military strategists. Story 4. Surprised nobody has mentioned modern pentathlon. Just a random selection of sports thrown together because it vaguely resembles something a soldier would have done 200 years ago. Story 5 may be controversial, but football. Not because it's stupid at all, but who truly cares about which national team won the Olympic medal? FIFA, Copa America, Euros, etc. are all much more important spectacles to national teams. It's only there for eyes on glass and more money. Story 6. Breakdancing. What the ever-loving heck? Why not ballroom dancing or pole dancing? Race walking. None of them are walking. Stupid. Everyone knows they are all cheating, but the judges randomly choose a few to disqualify. It makes no sense. Story 7. These sports only because they picked the worst possible video games for their esports program. The only explanation is an attempt to tank their own esports initiative. Story 8. So many of you are just grumpy at something that you know little about or hear about every 4 years. I'm not going to criticize any sport. Having said that, for me, the Olympics should be the pinnacle of your sport. I love golf, admire football, basketball, and tennis, but are you telling me every athlete wouldn't rather win a Masters, World Cup, NBA title, or Wimbledon, respectively? Story 9. Speed climbing. It has been the same route since 2007. If it changed every year, I wouldn't be so hard on it, but it's the same exact route. Even in real rock climbing, nothing is ever the same. Conditions, erosion, rockfall, weather, all factors in your climb. Plus, it's fundamentally a sport that deals with exploration and discovery. It makes me irrationally angry that it is an Olympic sport because climbers were required to participate in the interesting formats such as bouldering and sport. Edit. I don't believe it's required for sport and boulder in 2024, but it was for Tokyo. So incredibly pointless. I'm impressed that people are strong and can do it quickly, but it's without purpose. It's the fidget spinner of climbing. It's like giving an iPad to a toddler to keep them busy. The skibbity toilet. Edit. If you can't see the difference between a track and an arbitrarily designed climbing route, you were definitely an iPad kid. Story 10. Greco-Roman wrestling. It is just infinitely more boring than freestyle and has way fewer countries competing at the highest level. It seems very niche and unpopular to still be at the Olympics. Story 11. It's a toss-up for me between speed walking, break dancing, and dressage. If I had to pick one, I guess I would say speed walking as it takes the least amount of skill. Not to mention, most of them aren't even walking but straight up jogging. Story 12. Steeplechase, for humans, is an event where they run around a track, occasionally jump over a bar, and sometimes land in a puddle of water. What's the point? Just run or do hurdles. Story 13. Solo synchronized swimming. If you're solo, who are you synchronizing with? Though with the name change to artistic swimming, it's not as silly as it used to be. I also think dressage is pretty silly. Story 14. There are some sports that aren't considered stupid, but weird. Biathlon is one of those. You cross-country ski for a while, then shoot some stuff, then ski some more. Story 15. Competition shooting. Now, I personally enjoy precision stuff and was competitive for a few years. But what the Olympics does and what the rest of the sport does are two very different things. Pretty much take anything fun or interesting about the shooting sport, remove that, and then take what's left, and that's pretty much all the Olympic shooting sports. If I were to fix it, I'd have them go back to actual firearms instead of air guns for the precision shooting, and maybe throw in some physical aspects like we see in tactical shooting styles such as 2-gun and 3-gun. Story 16. Anyone saying break dancing is talking straight out of their ass. This is the first time they have done it, and the qualifiers have not even started yet. Do not judge things you have not seen based on total ignorance. Story 17. Every time someone says race walking, I just want to say 9.45 miles per hour walking. Over 50 kilometers, that's 31 miles. They're doing 3 hours and 30 minutes for 50 kilometers. Their mile splits are 6 minutes and 40 seconds. It's absolutely impressive. Ultra-elite marathon runners are running 5-minute splits. It's nonsense how fast they are going. Tug of war is probably the silliest in my opinion. Story 18. Sorry to the participants for thinking this. It has to be the one with horses in it. An Olympic sport with other animals in it. Can someone ride a cheetah in the 100 meters? Dressage is what I think it is called. You are riding an animal around and calling yourself an Olympian. Just parade the horses instead and name it the Ponympics. Muster the Rahurim we ride. Story 19. Steeplechase. If you want a cross-country race, do it out in the countryside. Building jumps and water hazards on a track is just stupid. Mostly talking about the human version, but the equestrian version is also considered by some as unreasonable. Story 20. I always thought multiple swimming medals for different techniques are silly. Give a medal for running, but not another for skipping, bunny hopping, etc. However, it does make sense to offer multiple medals based on running distance. Please tell me why I am mistaken. Story 21. I know it takes a lot of training and great endurance, but I just cannot take the walking seriously. They're meant to go as fast as possible. But if someone wants to go faster, then they simply run. It's a very odd one. Story 22. For all the people saying breaking, have you watched the men's? I'm watching the qualifying and it's pretty cool. Tons of variety, definite athleticism, and a genuinely fun watch.